didn't have a backup. I want Ripley.
Ripley. Good one. T.
Harry f***ing Tasker.
Harry.
I really
Harry.
Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Wars. It's Action Wars this time, and this is the first round, goddammit. We got T to my right. She's got Harry Tasker from True Lies.
Harry f***ing Tasker.
Harry f***ing Tasker. To my left, Christina. She's got Ellen Ripley. Ellen f***ing Ripley?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, just Ellen Ripley. Good old-fashioned Ellen Ripley from the Aliens franchise. All right, flipped a coin earlier. Somebody flipped a coin, and then they told me what happened with the coin flip. And Christina, you're going first. You ready?
Yes, let me just...
Oh, you're not ready. Okay,
She's
T,
still writing her argument.
No, I'm ready.
are you ready?
I am now.
You've got 2 minutes, starting right now. Go.
Warrant Officer Ellen Ripley, or at least that's where she started. She's seriously awesome. She goes from third in command of some commercial freighter to badass action hero in basically the space of, it's unclear, but like 36 hours from when the xenomorph pops out of her crewmate's chest to when she is just kicking so much ass it can't even be handled by space and time. And that's when she goes into cryosleep. 57 years later, she emerges so awesome. She is prepared to tell the truth to power, take on a whole hive of xenomorphs, out-badass a whole squad of space marines. And she's so amazing, they cloned her to be amazing for future generations. That's 100% true as to the reasoning. Her badassery inspired future generations of filmmakers. Pretty sure those suits they wore in Avatar, pretty much because Ellen Ripley knew how to wear a robo-lifter. Even Molly Weasley of Harry Potter more or less quoted Ellen Ripley when she uttered her most badass line of the entire franchise. Get away from her, you bitch. Well, in Harry Potter it was, get away from my daughter, you bitch. But still, the power of the bitch remains. Really, this Ellen Ripley is an example to action heroes and women throughout time and space, and you should vote for her.
All right. The bad attitude of Ellen Ripley has seeped all the way into the Potterverse.
Yes.
T, you got 2 minutes for your opening arguments.
Right.
And those 2 minutes start right now. Go.
I'm actually going to start with my opening argument talking about Ripley, literally the name Ripley, because it's a cool name, I'll grant that, and it would be a great one for an action hero, but that isn't what she really is. And what the fuck action hero have you ever heard of named Ellen, by the way? We also need to talk about the fact that Ellen Ripley, a lot of people around her wind up dead. In any action movie, the hero's mission is for that of a greater good, more often than not, literally saving the world. And a proper action hero is able to keep his sidekick and other supporting characters safe, even in the face of self-sacrifice. If Ripley's your leader, odds are far too high that you're going to wind up getting skull-f***ed by a xenomorph. And if you don't die from that, don't worry, you might still die. Oh, unless you are a xenomorph, in which case you might still survive because she's managed to fail at getting rid of these things 4 times with a 5th time planned for 2017. Alien isn't really an action movie, which renders the notion that Ellen Ripley could be the best action hero relatively moot. Alien is a futuristic sci-fi horror film. It's basically a haunted house movie. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection are also sci-fi horror films. The only possible exception is Aliens. And Aliens can't, that sounds really weird when I have to emphasize which one I'm talking about, but Aliens can be considered a sci-fi action movie, but that's James Cameron's Alien movie, and James Cameron also directed True Lies, just saying. And True Lies is a proper action film. Now, Ellen is heroic, but she doesn't quite fit the role of best action hero or best action movie character. I'm still not really sure what this bracket is, but it's best action something, and I'm afraid to say Ellen Ripley was simply miscast. Frankly, she spends more time sleeping than anything else, and she literally has a record for it. Think about it this way. If this bracket were about best cuts of steak, submitting Ellen Ripley would be like the equivalent of picking burgers. I love burgers, okay? I love them, but we're talking about steaks.
All right. Interesting tactic. Spinning your opening argument, trashing the other. Let's see how it plays out for you.
We'll see.
Rebuttals. Christina, you've got a lot to rebut against already. 1 minute starts right now. Go.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Ellen Ripley saved the cat. I will grant that the majority of the Alien franchise is a sci-fi horror movie, but Ellen Ripley brings the action to aliens. She is our everyman hero in the face of some really impossible odds. A good portion of the people around her do die, but it's due to their own stupidity. Like I said, she's the one who tells the truth to power. Harry Tasker is the one who wastes government resources to spy on his cheating wife. He more or less date rapes her when he tries to get her to do a striptease in front of what she thinks is a complete stranger, and gets a well-earned phone to the head. In possibly the only scene I've ever seen where a guy manages to date rape his own wife. Like, that is a superpower in and of itself.
All right. Married date rape. T, you've got a minute. Starts right now. Go.
All right. Now, we only have one movie with Harry Tasker, but in that one film, we see him prove himself as the best action hero in several clutch moments. He does a bunch of cool spy shit. He kills a bunch of crimson jihadists. He rides a horse in a elevator. He flies a fighter jet. He recovers his daughter after she's been kidnapped by terrorists. He stops Miami from getting nuked. He swims under a lake that's on fire. And he even does the tango. By the way, throughout all of that, none of the good or harmless people end up dead. Even that liar asshole Bill Paxton gets spared. Now, Harry's tough, clever, resourceful, and multi-talented, and just as True Lies fits the characteristics that define action films as we know them, Harry Tasker is therefore the epitome, not epitome, it's epitome of a classic action hero.
Okay, guys, Freeform. Christina, get us going.
Look, Harry Tasker is awesome. In fact, he is the movie, like, the cookie-cutter definition of an action hero.
Yeah, he ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the best.
He's super capable, very assured, which wouldn't be a bad thing, except aside from his amazing skills on horseback, his imposing physical presence, his fluency in pretty much every language ever.
And the one-liners.
The gun his wife drops still kills more terrorists than he does in the entire movie.
But she doesn't stop the nukes in the end. He does.
Look,
big picture, Christina.
Look, like I said, he ticks all of the action boxes, but I don't know if he really ticks the hero box to the same degree that Ellen Ripley does. She is the one who who rises above her beginnings and her circumstances to be greater than herself. Harry Tasker, all he really progresses over the course of the movie is, oh, maybe I shouldn't spy on my wife so much, but let's still make this guy pee his pants at the end. Maybe I should tango with my wife instead of some other random chick.
I think he's overcome an obstacle. He's overcome that ridiculous accent. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily required for an action hero to overcome some sort of hardship to be the best action hero. It's really about overcoming the specific situations he's put in during the course of the film. And I feel like, everything is thrown at him. In a lot of ways, True Lies mashes up every action trope that there is and takes him to the nth degree. And Harry Tasker still saves the day.
Look, I can't debate how awesome Harry Tasker is. I'm just saying.
That's an interesting
that's
strategy.
a weird tactic.
Yeah.
Like I said, he hits the action, not so much the hero. Except for he saves the day for sure, but I wouldn't put him as a role model, as an aspirational figure, because he's too impossibly good at everything. Nobody's that good at everything.
Harry Tasker is. I mean, that's what the whole movie's about.
Can he operate freight lifting machinery?
If there were a True Lies 2, he'd probably get a sword fight in there too, on top of a train. And also, with this whole...
Such emphasis about the train. I guess that is the only mode of transportation he didn't get into a fight
I've thought
on.
about this way too much. As far as him being a date rapist, I think that's a bit extreme.
Of course it's
He's just a bit of a cad. He was having some fun, and I'm sure he would have let his wife know that it were him before, penetration.
All right, guys. Well, this is the only tournament we have this week because the whole office is deathly ill. We had a couple of people come down with some gnarly stuff, so they're not around to do their tournaments this week. But we'll be back. We'll get all those covered next week. In the meantime, get down in the comments below. There will be a comment that says, like this comment if Harry Tasker is the winner, or there's a comment that says, like this comment if Ellen Ripley is the winner.
How is Harry the impossible one when he's not the one who's in outer space? At least he's sort of based in the real world.
He's a realistic hero who beats up space aliens with a futuristic robo-crane lift suit.
It's in the future, and it's sci-fi, so,
Whatever.
That's touche. Got him.